everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I'm here to kick off my 2020 Project Pan, and this year I will be doing the hashtag Team Project Pan, the same thing I did last year. It was started by Kat and Hailey from Beauty News, but basically what it is, it's a full year rolling Project Pan. You pick out items from each different category of makeup, and there's some non-makeup categories, and as you use stuff up, you replace it with a similar item. I really enjoyed doing this project last year, so when I heard that they were going to be doing it again for 2020, I definitely wanted to join in. So I'll get started. I'll go over all of my items I'm starting with. Roughly half of the items are rollovers from last year, so I still wanted to work on those items, and then I have some new items to work on for 2020. So my first category is primer, and this is a rollover item. This is my Benefit POREfessional. It's a little deluxe size, but I have a lot of like mini things, and they can tend to just like hang out in my collection if I don't try to focus on them. But that is where I'm starting it with. I don't have a ton of this left. I feel in the next month or two this should be able to be finished off, but that will be my primer. The next category is foundation, and for that I have the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. Again, I don't have much of this left. This is another rollover item from last year. You can see the air sort of squeezed out, and I just have a little bit at the bottom. Again, I feel like this should take me, hopefully I can get it finished by the end of January, but it might even take me into February, but fairly soon this should be able to be finished off. But that's my foundation. Next is my concealer, and for that I have the Urban Decay Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. Again, another rollover item from last year, but this is something I just added in at the very end of the project. I just got this concealer at the very end of 2019. So wasn't really working on it for that long last year, and typically like a full concealer would take me about a year to use up. So this is something I probably will have in the project until like the end of the year, but hopefully I can get it finished off in 2020. But that is my concealer. Next category is powder, and once again I have a rollover item from last year, but this is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. And this one I was working on all of last year, but you just get a lot of powder with it. So where I am currently is right under the net weight. So I just have a little bit left if I kind of tap down the product in the packaging. But this one, I think it will take me the first part of the year. Hopefully I can get it finished maybe like by April time frame, maybe like 4 months worth of use with this left, but really want to get this finished up in 2020. I do really like this powder. I do actually have a backup of it, so I do want to try to get this one finished off and I can start working on my new one, but that's my powder for the project. Next is my setting spray, another rollover item. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water, so technically I could use this as a primer or a setting spray. I put it in the setting spray category. That's how I'm more likely to use it, but this is where I'm starting. So I have a little more than a third of the product left. This is something I added in partway in 2019, so I definitely can get it finished off this year. We'll see how long this amount of product takes me to use up, but that is my setting spray and where I'm starting with that. Next category is blush, and last year was a really good year for me using up blush. I used up a cream blush and a powder blush. So this year I don't think I'm going to be able to use up a blush. I don't have a blush. I think both of those items I had already hit pan on. I don't have anything I've hit pan on in terms of blush. So probably won't be able to get through the blush. But the one I'll be working on is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade Mood Exposure. So it's my oldest single like powder blush, but you can see I haven't hit pan on it. And I really was focusing on the Tarte Exposed. I really wasn't getting use out of my other blushes. So this is one I'll be working on. I've decided with my blush and my highlighter categories. Last year I used a cream and powder product in the project, but for this year I'm just going to be focusing on one of each item. So this is the blush I'll be working on. Just want to make some good progress with it, possibly hit pan, but I don't foresee that I'll be able to actually use it up. But that will be the blush for the project. Next is my highlighter. And again, as I stated, last year I had a cream and powder highlighter. This year I just want to focus on one. And then what I'll be focusing on is from the Balm. It's the Mary Luminizer. And hopefully I can actually get this one finished off. It's just a little sample size of it. I have used up one of these before. And it's also good to use as like eyeshadow. So I feel like if I focus on this, I will be able to get it finished off. It is just 1 gram of product. So I think it could be possible I could use this up. So this will be the highlighter I'll be focusing on. Then I have my finishing powder. This is again another rollover item, also from Hourglass. This is the Ambient lighting powder in the shade Ethereal Light. So this one I've hit major pan on. I definitely think I can get this finished up within 2020, but that's where I'm starting with this. Then I have some eye products. So there's a category, it's like eyeshadow primer, cream eyeshadow. Last year I was focusing on a lot of different cream eyeshadows. And this year, at least at this point, I don't have any cream eyeshadows I really want to focus on, but I will be working on my eyeshadow primer. Again, another rollover product. This is the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I've said multiple times I need to take the stopper out. So I'll still have to do that, but this is definitely something I can get finished up in the first part of the year. This is something I was working on all of last year. So that will be within the project, at least for the first part of 2020. And then there's the eyeshadow palette and eyeshadow category. Last year I was just sort of like rotating through my eyeshadow palettes, and I was talking about which eyeshadow palette I was going to use for the month within these updates. I'm not going to do that this year. I still want to rotate through my eyeshadow palettes, but I'm not really going to film that or put it as part of these updates. Instead, I'm just going to be focusing on a single eyeshadow. This is from Decay, and it's just a single eyeshadow in the shade Sin. And I thought this would be a good one to focus on. I have hit pan on it. There's just a teeny bit of pan, but I feel like this is a good shade I can wear for every day. And I feel like if I focus on it for like a year, I should be able to get through it. I don't want to go through this like as fast as possible, like use it every single day and not use anything else. But I feel like if I kind of have this in my daily makeup collection, use it occasionally, I should be able to get through it. So that will be the eyeshadow I'm focusing on. Then I have my liner. And for this, I'm going to be continuing to focus on another rollover item, but I'm going to be focusing on the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide on Pencil and Desperation. That's where I'm starting with this one. This is a product I've tried to pan for a few years now, so hopefully this is the year that I can actually use this one up. So I do have my little post-it. I did start a new post-it for products I can kind of measure like this. So that's where I'm starting with it. And yeah, hopefully I can just remember to use this and try to actually get through this eyeliner this year. The next category is mascara, another rollover item. This is the Benefit Bad Gal Bang. I started using this towards the end of last year, so I feel like this is one I can get maybe another like month of use out of, and then I'll have to move on to another one, but be starting off the project with this mascara. Then I have my brow products. So I have another rollover item. This is for brow like color product. This is the Benefit Gimme Brow. And I was using this last year, the second part of last year, and I feel like I still have some product. Not really sure how long this is supposed to last, but I feel like I can still get a good application of product with this. I'll still continue to use this, but this is probably something that within the next like month or so I'll be finished with. But I'll start off with that. And then for my brow setting product, I have another brow product from Benefit. This is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I was using one of these last year. I did finish it up in December, and I had another one of these in my collection, which I'll be focusing on in 2020. And then I have some lip products. So for lipstick, I actually decided I want to try to work on a lipstick. And a little, like a few months ago, I was doing my like 4 lipsticks in 4 months project where I was kind of rotating, or 4 lipsticks in 4 weeks project where I was rotating through all the lipsticks in my collection, and I was focusing on like 4 at a time for 4 weeks. And one of the lipsticks that I used during that project, well, I used all of them, but one of them I kind of rediscovered with this Kiko Milano lipstick. It's in the shade Natural Rose. And I just discovered how good of like an everyday shade it is. So I think it's one I can really easily wear to work. So I thought it would be one I could try to pan this year. So that's where I'm starting with the lipstick. I do have my little post-it for this as well, so I can kind of measure the progress with my future updates. But yeah, I thought I could try to actually use it up this year. So that will be the lipstick I'm panning. Then there's a category for lip gloss, and for that, this was an item I just added in at the very end of my project last year, so technically another rollover product, but this is from Bite, and it's the French press gloss in the shade Flat White. I actually have a whole, like all 6 of these shades in the collection, and I have another one in this color, so this is the one I want to be focusing on first to use up. So that would be the gloss I'll be working on. And I do have the lipstick and the gloss paired together today, and I think they work well together. So I'm happy to be panning both of those items. And finally, for the makeup items, I have my lip balm. And for that, I'll be focusing on the Fresh Sugar Lip Caramel. Just like a deluxe size of it, but I want to try to get this one finished off. I've used a good amount, so we'll see how long it takes me to get through the rest of it, but that will be the lip balm that I'll be starting with. So that's all the makeup, and there are a few non-makeup categories, so I'll go through that stuff. So there's a category for like nail polish or nail product, which last year I used to try to focus on my hand creams, and I'm going to do the same this year. For my body care, I am doing like a body care use it up, but that project I'm not specifically focusing on items. I'm more doing like quarterly inventories and trying just to use up all of my body care in general. So if I have specific products I want to try to use up, I will put it through this project. So the first hand cream that I'll be focusing on is from Crabtree and Evelyn. It's in Somerset Meadow, and I picked this one because I have made the most progress on it out of all the hand creams I've been using. So we'll see how long this one takes to finish off. If I even take it into spring, it's fine. It's a very like floral scent, but I've used it about halfway up. So that will be the hand cream I'm starting with. The next category is fragrance. And for fragrance, I've decided to focus on 2 fragrances. And when you see what they are, it will make sense. But last year I was focusing on one thing at a time, and for this year what I really want to try to use up is my Elizabeth and James Nirvana black and white fragrances. These were kind of made to like pair together. You can use them separately. So I thought instead of picking one and using it up and then using up the other one, I would just put both of them in the project. And these ones, they're hard for this type of project because I can't see through the packaging, so I don't really know where I'm at with these, but I really want to make an effort to try to use these up this year. So those will be the fragrances. I'll just try to use them as much as possible this year and hopefully use up both of them. The next category is for like body care product, and again, I'm going to be trying to focus on a lot of my body care this year, but if I have something that I think might be a little harder for me to use up, I will try to put it through this project. The first body care item that I'll try to work on is the Twisted Peppermint Body Butter. I feel like I go through the body creams from Bath & Body Works pretty quickly, and that's what I was focusing on towards the last part of last year in this project. But body butter, I'm not sure. It might take me a little bit longer, so I thought it would be a good thing to kind of work through this project. So I just started using this in January. I've only used it a few times, so we'll see how long a product like this takes me. Next category is for skincare, and for that I'm going to be working on this lip scrub. This is from Bite, and this is the Agave Sugar Lip Scrub, and I've only used this one, I want to say like maybe about 2 or 3 times, so it's pretty much full. And it's the type of product that I'm not really going to reach for unless I kind of put it into a project like this. So we'll see how long that one takes me to use up. And then the final category is hair product. And for that, I have this Garnier Fructis Sleek Shot In-Shower Styler. Now, I did use up one of these last year towards the end of the year, but I had another one. This is completely unused, so I thought it would be a good thing to add in for this year. So that's everything for the kickoff for this project. I'm really excited to do this again. I really thought it was successful last year, and I hope you guys are excited for the project as much as I am. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.